doing?
I'm just presenting part of a squid head. It's got 3 legs on it, and that is going to be an irresistible bait for a snapper, and that will not spin in the current, and my hookup rate should be near on perfect.
Fresh squid?
Fresh squid.
Where are we?
We're actually fishing Western Port, and we're up past Tooradin in a channel called the Bolton's Channel, and we're right up the top end and there's no more water. We've gone up as far as we possibly can, and the reason why we've come up here is early season. This is where the snappers start. Not really sure why. Maybe because water temperature might warm a little bit, but this is where the fish are found. And also too, there's no weed.
Yes, and let me ask you something. But everyone just saw us catching snapper in Port Phillip, so why would we leave snapper to come up and catch these snapper?
Look, I really believe that if you want to catch the ultimate snapper, it's going to be found in Western Port Bay. For many years it's been the bay for big snapper.
And what do you mean by big?
We're talking fish in excess of 20 pound.
And big knobber ones.
That's it, big males.
Yeah, alright, get out there, mate.
Got to always check your drag. Always get in the habit of checking it.
What are you checking for?
Basically that the drag's not locked up, and that fish, when it goes to take, it can freely take that line, but with enough drag to set those hooks. There we go. She's ready to go.
Put it in the holder. I want to ask you another question. And as you just seen, we put that rod in a horizontal position over the water. Something unique to Victorians and sort of spreading further afield these days, but definitely a unique thing to Victorians. And the idea of that is, as snapper fishermen, we call that a snapper rack, that stainless steel rack. And basically by pointing the rod at the fish, all right, when a fish picks up a bait and takes off, what doesn't happen is the rod doesn't bend. It actually just directs the line, engages the drag directly on the reel without bending the rod, so the fish actually doesn't feel the rod bending or feel any weight. The first weight he'll actually feel is direct drag pressure, which, as Warren just said, is enough to set a hook. So that's the idea of it. What we don't want is a rod upright like we see our New South Wales counterparts doing, where the rod starts to bend down before the reel engages. That gives the fish time to feel weight. Obviously then it gets a chance to spit the bait. So we've sort of evolved a little bit further by designing rod racks to suit the species, not just the rods and reels that we use. So we've got 4 of those out at night. We've got the run out tide. It's about an hour before midnight. There's no moon. And we've just sounded up some really quality marks on a very low sensitivity on our sounder. Now the idea of running a low sensitivity is it doesn't tell you any lies. If you see something, it's usually real. We're pretty confident. Move up to the back of that one. The snapper.
You're right, thing. It's bigger than 2 kilos.
Oh.
That didn't go at all.
What do you got to say about the events of the evening?
This is just so much more enjoyable than the other night when we were out in 30 knots. We can hear a seal coughing and spitting the bones out. And I guess he's having a good feed of snapper.
So now the fish is giving you some stick.
Yeah. The last 10 feet. Wait for the seal to come up and grab it now.
Don't let the seal take it. It's a good fish, mate.
I don't think I've ever had a fight like this.
Oh, has it got a knob? Mate, hang on, get the net. You're not going to get the net, are you?
No, I'm not going to get the net. Not that big. It's a good fish, but... Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful fish.
Carter.
Oh. Yes, it's been a little while.
Just tell us a little story of how we've got to be here now and why are we up here, where are we and what are we doing?
Well, we actually were fishing the runway where we could think we could target a big fish, and the weed just caned us, the weed did. We just couldn't fish. And just so quiet, so still. We've headed right up the top end, past Tooradin. And mate, you can hear anything for a mile.
Yeah, basically, after we got smashed off Port Phillip before the ab break, you know, we went back and regrouped, had a talk about what was important to us. Do we want to go out there and just catch numbers of fish with the occasional 8 or 9 kilo, or do we want to come to Western Port and do what we do and we've done for years and chase those really big reds? It's really early season. We're not even really hoping. We know we're probably not even going to get one. But tonight we had a plan to find some quality snapper. Once we find the quality snapper, we can then persevere in that area to try and pull a big snapper. Because Western Port is where we're going to get the 10 kilo big knobbers, and this is what we're after. Tell you what though, that's not a bad fish for our first set of rods up in the Bolton's channel. So let me ask you, Carter, tell everyone, how do we find those fish? You've got to pay a little bit of credit to me there, don't you? A little bit.
Mate, I've got to say, you've really got your sounder tuned in. Sensitivity right down low. And you're just able to decipher that weed and just find fish only.
Mate, let me tell you, it looks massive on camera. It's a big fish.
Mate, that was an impressive fight, it was all the last 6 feet.
You know, what's happening out at Port Phillip at the moment? Give us a rundown what's happening out at Port Phillip.
Mate, Matt Seeney, James Rogers, and a lot of the other boys, the old timers, Terry Watkins and Brian Rinaldi. Mate, they've been smashing a lot of fish out there, and we've decided to leave those fish alone.
We know where they are, don't we?
We know where they are, but we're going out to do our own thing and fish Western Port. And this is what it's about.
That one fish means more, I reckon, to us now, backing ourselves and coming up and doing this, than going to a proven thing on Port Phillip. Yeah. We've hunted that fish tonight. We've backed ourselves. We've come up the Bolton's channel. We've marked up the slightest of marks. We've had a hunch at their snapper. We put some squid baits in, had some little giant, tiny little touches, and you've hooked up into that fish, mate. That's a quality fish, Carter. You wait till you see it in the camera. It actually looks monstrous.
I'm actually saying he was sore holding it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not the fish we're after. Let's keep fishing. So stay tuned.
The question I got for you, we put it back or we keep it?
Mate, I've already eaten the other two I had the other night, so I'm going to put this one in the esky.
Alright, no worries, your call. Well done, mate. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's comeback show. Pure, simple fishing in our home waters. And I promise you there's going to be a lot of home water fishing in this series. We'll see you next week on YouFishTV.